Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. You know what time it is. It's Tuesday afternoon. I'm glad to be here with you. I hope everybody's having a good day. And you know why I'm laughing? Because my sister Carolyn is probably going to imitate me Friday with our family call. She said I start off doing the same things the same way every day, every time I do this. So it's repetition. And the best way for agents or anybody to learn anything is through repetition. So repetition is our best teacher. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's been a cloudy day here in this great state of Maryland, but it's a good day. I think any day you above ground is a good day, and we should be thankful for being able to see another day. And the other part is, what do we do with this day? This is a gift from God that you were able to see another day. What are we doing with this day? You know, are we profitable? Are we adding value into someone else's life? So that's what life is all about. I think the world should look better behind us because we've been through it than it is before us, because we have not got there yet. So good afternoon, Pamela, Priscilla. How y'all doing? So I have a very interesting topic today. And of course, you may have seen the topic title, Who's Loving You? So I'll wait a few minutes and I'll get some folks on, and then I'll kind of go right ahead and get started. But it's October the 12th. We have some very special team members that celebrated birthdays today. Robin Gross' birthday today. I've been knowing Robin over 30 some years. And ACA's newest ring winner, Rochelle Dickerson, her birthday is today. I got clients that are birthdays this week, so it's just a good day to have another birthday and another trip around the sun. So, but anyway, you know, I always like to start off my call with announcements. This Tuesday is no different. We have the American Classic Agency Opportunity Call tonight at 7 o'clock. We have 3 seasoned veterans that's going to be presenting tonight at 7 o'clock. We have Kevin Edmondson, a retired firefighter out in Virginia. He's going to be hosting. We have Debbie Short, phenomenal businesswoman, been with our company now over 15 years. She's going to be presenting. And Barbara Balkavich, who has been with us now over 20 years. Those 3 individuals will be presenting the opportunity call tonight at 7 o'clock. So from 7 to 7:40, if you're not doing anything and you know somebody that could use some extra income coming in, get them on this call Tuesday night. We've been doing this every Tuesday night now, and people are going our team and they're joining. And just got a text message today from someone that watched last week's event and sent me a text message today and said, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And so they're going to be joining our team. But today's topic is kind of funny, really. Who's loving you? That's today's topic. Who's loving you? And I'm going to be talking about retirement, because that's really the key. I mean, we work now, we okay now. But I worry about what happens when we stop working. Are we going to have enough money? We're going to outlive our money. Is our money going to outlive us? So that it's crucially important that we plan properly and make sure that we have enough money to sustain us in our lifestyle, current lifestyle, and also retirement lifestyle. But who's loving you? And it all goes back to retirement planning and understanding what tax bracket we're going to be in when we retire. And I hear this a lot. I hear a lot of people say, you know, I'm going to be in a lower tax bracket when I retire. And a lot of times that's not necessarily the truth. So when I think of this thing, who's loving you, you got 2 people that's going to love you, the federal government or your family. So when I thought about that song and I was doing my early morning walk this morning, I got it there early this morning, about 6:30. It was still dark, but I went out there because that was on my mind. And I guess I'm telling my age a little bit now. The Jackson 5 had a song out back in the early 70s. And Michael Jackson was singing that song. He was his leader. And the song said, who's loving you? And it talks about, I treated you bad, right? And it said, I treated you bad, my dear. But since you've been away. You know, I've been looking around. I've been sitting around with my head hanging down. And I wonder who's loving you. I think it goes something like that. I've been sitting around with my head hanging down, and I wonder who's loving you. And when I look at the way we handle our money sometimes, I think about that same question. Who's loving you? So I have a couple of different examples. And I know some of y'all were probably watching the Michael Jackson songs back then too. And but that song, Who's Loving You, and I remember them singing it. I remember Who's Loving You, Who's Loving You. But here's the deal. I'm looking at someone who is in a 24% tax bracket. And there's a lot of people in the DMV. So, you know, you can find that out on your own, but who's loving you? And I did a couple of examples just so we could see it. And I wanted to show it on my computer screen. Just wasn't able to get it together. But a single filer who has $700,000 in their tax qualified plan at work. The question is, do they really have the $700,000? No. If you're in a 24% tax bracket, out of that $700,000 in your tax qualified plan at work, $532,000 is yours. The other $168,000 goes back to the government. Right? And some people say, well, that ain't that bad. But here's the problem. Most Americans still contribute to that tax qualified plan. So let's say you're still in the 24% tax bracket, but now your tax qualified plan reached $1 million. And there are a lot of people we see that have $1 million in their tax qualified plan at work. But out of that $1 million, $760,000 of it is yours. $240,000 goes back to the government. That's a single person, right? When your tax qualified plan reaches $1.5 million, $1.1 million is yours, but $360,000 goes back to the government. So who's loving you? Is your family loving you, or is the government loving you? I think in that case, the government loves you because they want us to keep doing that, right? So what happens with that $1 million now, and you just happen to be in a 35% tax bracket? That's a lot of people that we see in the DMV. You find two people, a husband and wife, they're filing, or a single person that maybe have a business owner that's making a couple of $100,000 a year. They're in a 35% tax bracket. They got $1 million set aside in a tax qualified plan or an IRA or one of the alphabet soups. They have $1 million. $650,000 is theirs, but $350,000 is the government's. So who's loving you? Your family or the government? What happens when that account reaches $1.5 million? You're in a 35% tax bracket. You got $975,000 is yours, and $525,000 is the IRS and the government. So who's loving you? We are here to show you that you can make one decision where your family is loving you because you decided to buy out Uncle Sam and put your money instead of putting it in a tax-infested program, put it in a tax-favored program, and now your family's loving you because you made one decision long ago that I was not going to continue to feed the government. So who's loving you? Based on what you're doing right now and the people that we know, and you talk about what they're doing in terms of retirement plan, who's going to be in love with them? The government or their family? Because we lose the write-offs when we think about that during retirement. Well, you're not contributing to a tax qualified plan anymore, so you don't have that deduction, right? And a lot of cases, because you've listened to someone from our organization and we've got you out of debt, including your mortgage, in 9 years or less, now you don't have the mortgage interest to write off. So you don't have that anymore because you listened to one of our representatives. The kids are grown now, right? They may be still living with you, but you can't write them off anymore, so you don't have that deduction anymore. And because now you're on a fixed income, you're not giving to that charitable organization like you used to when you were at work, but you go volunteer there. So we don't have all the write-offs that we think we do when we retire. So the bottom line is, when I think about the Michael Jackson song, Who's Loving You, we're going to look at that same scenario as we handle our money, not just for the day, but for the tomorrows of our life. So I think about that song. I was thinking about this morning, I was like, wow, who's loving you? And Michael Jackson was singing that song. He said, I sit around with my head hanging down. And my head be hanging down too if I got to give the government $500,000 or $600,000 of the money that I thought was mine, my head would be hanging down too. And I would wonder who's loving you. I don't know, that may have been corny to some folks, but this is real life stuff. You know, the way we handle our money for the days and tomorrow, is the government going to love us or our family's going to love us because we made a decision that I'm not going to be in a relationship with Uncle Sam forever. I'm going to buy him out at some point. And the money that I'm setting aside is going to be for me and my family to live, that I don't have to share with the government. Now, if you're wondering what kind of plan that is, give us a call at 301-794-4290. 301-794-4290. We can give you a no cost, no obligation consultation. I can show you exactly how much money you will have for you and how much the IRS is going to take. So, in closing, based on what you're doing right now, if you didn't change anything, who's loving you? The government or your family? I look forward to talking to you again next Tuesday. I'm not sure what the topic is going to be, but I do have some ideas. I'm thinking about the topic, are you a giver or you a taker? That's been rattling in my mind lately as we're going into this giving season of Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, have a good day, everybody. Thank you for your time, and join us on this call tonight at 7 o'clock. If you need the information, inbox me. Go on the American Classic Agency website, aclassic.com, and get on this call tonight. I promise you it will be life-changing. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.